early in my career for my team, I said, there's success principles in real estate. And I came up with three of them. And I figure that any real estate agent that does these three things can be successful. And then over time, I added a fourth one if you want to be a business owner. So let me walk you through those, and that'll kind of answer your question. The first real estate success principle, say the right things. And funny enough, Chris Heller, who's been a longtime friend of mine and mentor, I bought this DVD pack, or might have been VHS. That's how old Chris is. I bought this VHS like video of Chris Heller doing his scripts and dialogues, calling canceled expireds, and talking to his sphere. And I think I still have it today, actually. I should break it out. And I realized at that moment that if you learn to say the right things and you master your scripts and you can communicate in an authentic and sincere way that shows that you have empathy for your customers, that you care and that you can help them, they'll work with you. And I don't think brokerages have taken enough time to teach their agents how to communicate with empathy, with integrity, and with a way that says, I really want to help people experience the opportunities of home ownership. So I became a master at scripts, and most of them were not my originals. Those are all ones that I stole. One of them was for my very first coach. She said, Ben, what are you going to say to your friends and family when you call them? I hadn't thought about it. Like, I don't know. She's like, you got to ask for business. I said, Debbie, what should you say? And she said, why don't you ask them what their real estate related plans are for the year? And I thought about that. And I said, that sounds sincere to who I am. So if I was to call you, Jeremiah, and we were to have a few minute conversation, at some point I might say, hey, Jeremiah, just out of curiosity, what are your real estate related plans for next year? Have you thought about buying, selling, or investing? And it feels authentic. It doesn't feel like a slimy, oh, by the way, who should I know that you should know? That doesn't feel like who I am as a human. But I realize that there's an amazing script for about every situation. Open houses, for instance. Somebody comes into my open house. What do you say? Like, hey, grab a cookie, look through the underwear drawer, get some jewelry, take a bill, like help yourself to what's in the house. Like, what do you say? I reach my hand out. Julie's still shaking her head at me, rolling her eyes, smiling. I reach my hand out and I say, Jeremiah, thanks for coming in my open house. What's funny is people have been coming into this house lately for one of two reasons. One, they're curious what their own home is worth because they're thinking about selling. Or two, they're thinking about buying. Which one are you? And people would normally answer. Instead of saying just looking, they would say, oh, I'm selling. Or, oh, I'm buying. Notice in that order, Jeremiah, what I asked for first. I asked for sellers because that's what I want the most, right? Okay, the second real estate success principle. Say it enough times. Are you willing to set an activity goal daily that's going to equate to the success that you need next year? How many open houses? How many calls are you going to make? How many contacts? How many appointments? When I started, I had this roll of pennies, and I opened it up and I put all the 50 pennies in my left pocket. And every time I made a phone call, I'd take one penny out of my left pocket and I'd put it in my right pocket. And I knew I could go home when I had no more pennies in my left pocket. And it didn't matter if I made those calls while I was parked outside a house or at an open or in the office doing it. I just knew that by the end of the day, I had to move all the pennies. It was that simple. For me, it was every 52 dials would lead to 15 to 16 conversations on average, give me one appointment. So you have to know your activity goal and make a commitment and a promise to yourself that you're going to do it. The third real estate success principle, have enough people to say it to. Have enough people to say it to. That's a leads issue. If you don't have enough leads, that's what Ojo does. If you don't have enough leads, do some opens. You don't have enough leads, knock on some doors. Like, here's the cool thing. We know where everybody lives in the world. Like everybody lives in a house or an apartment. Like all those people know somebody that wants to buy, or they're going to want to buy or sell at some point. So just go talk to them. So those are the three things that that I figured out scripts, activities, and leads that will get you to sell that 24 to 100 homes a year. Now, you're going to run into a ceiling where you can't sell more than that amount. So there's a fourth real estate success principle when you transition from being an agent to being a business owner. And that is when you have enough people saying it. And that's where you move into leverage and you hire an admin, or you hire a showing agent, or you hire a buyer specialist. So I don't think things have changed, Jeremiah. You still need to be great at scripts. You still need to do enough activities, and you still need to have enough leads. The message might change. I saw you on my website compared to you got my postcard. The market of the moment might change, where in 1 year we're talking about short sales and foreclosures, and the next year we're talking about finding off-market properties or good deals. The message changes, but what we do every day doesn't.